Moon Studios, No Rest for the Wicked hits PS5, but Xbox Series S is causing delays. As revealed earlier this week during Sony's State of Play, Moon Studios' top-down action RPG No Rest for the Wicked is officially coming to PlayStation 5 following an extended early access period on PC. However, Xbox players hoping to jump into the latest project from the studio behind Ori and the Will of the Wisp may have to wait longer, with optimization challenges, particularly on Xbox Series S holding back the port. On June 2nd, Moon Studios CEO Thomas Mahler responded to a fan on social media uh, asking why the game is not launching on Xbox at the same time as the PS5 version in October. In a candid reply, Mahler pointed to the technical constraints of Microsoft's lower-powered console. Series S is making that rough, Mahler said. We'll ship it after in a good way once it's optimized like crazy for Switch 2 and Xbox. Microsoft's current policy requires all games released on Xbox Series X to also run on the Series S, with strict parity rules between the two systems. This has created friction for some developers in the past. One notable example is Baldur's Gate 3, where Larian Studios initially struggled with implementing features like split-screen co-op on Series S, before ultimately releasing the game with compromises after working with Xbox. Following increased attention around his comments, some of which spread from Discord discussions, Mahler later expanded on the situation in a separate post on Twitter, stressing that there is no exclusivity deal involved and reiterating that the delay is purely technical. There's no exclusivity deal. We just wanted to get Wicked into the hands of console players as quickly as we possibly can, since the console crowd overwhelmingly got frustrated with us only supporting Steam and Steam Deck so far, he said. He further explained that while Xbox Series X support itself is not the issue, the Series S hardware presents a significant bottleneck, particularly around memory limitations. Shipping on Xbox wouldn't have been a problem if we'd only be talking Xbox Series X, but Series S is a requirement to ship, and the biggest issue there is memory. On Series S, we only have 8 gigs, and since we're constantly streaming massive amounts of data in and out, we're not quite there yet to hit that spec, and we won't be until October. That pass to hit Switch 2 and Xbox Series S specs will have to come afterwards because it requires even more hardcore optimizations. And none of you would want a bad port. You'd want Wicked to feel awesome to play whenever you play it, and that just takes time. The ongoing debate around Xbox Series S. The situation has reignited discussion around Microsoft's requirement that games ship with parity across Series X and Series S. Critics argue that the lower spec console can create additional development overhead, while supporters say it ensures accessibility for players who opted for the cheaper hardware. Industry veterans have also weighed in on the issue. Former Valve writer and developer Chet Falizek previously suggested that Xbox should allow studios to opt out of Series S support in certain cases, saying his team had to do so much stupid stuff to get co-op shooter The Anacrusis running on the system. Similarly, developer Nick Wayan commented on Blue Sky that the parity issue between S and X sucks, echoing frustration shared by other teams working with the hardware. Reports from multiple studios, including those behind large-scale shooters such as Battlefield 6, have also pointed to difficulties optimizing performance for the lower-end console. What about Grand Theft Auto 6? The debate has also led to renewed speculation about how future high-end games will perform on the Series S. Most notably Rockstar Games' upcoming Grand Theft Auto 6, which is expected to release later this year. If the game arrives on Xbox platforms as planned, it will also need to run on Series S under current parity rules. That raises questions about what compromises, if any, will be required to make it function on the lower spec system. Whether Microsoft maintains its current policy or considers exceptions for major releases remains to be seen. Now, there are comments. This one, someone with the name Oprah_Winfrey says, you can't tell 40% of console owners, oops, we lied about being able to play Xbox games on your Xbox. Microsoft wanted the increased sales that came from offering a cheaper entry-level option, and now it's dealing with the consequences of releasing a less powerful machine. Big Burrito says, what's worse is that Microsoft had simply kept the memory amounts the same between the Series X and Series S. It likely would have added only a relatively small amount to the manufacturing cost when the consoles launched. According to this view, doing so would have eliminated many of the problems developers now face when porting games. Microsoft underestimated how much the reduced memory would affect third-party development, and it has come back to haunt them. Jarek says, yeah, skimping on memory was an incredibly poor decision. Memory usage is one of those areas that isn't easy to scale down without creating major development headaches. Lloyd Johnston says, Microsoft has become pretty good at pulling the rug out from under its customers. At this point, the company could decide that Series S owners are simply out of luck. As evidence, I'd point to much of what Xbox has done over the last 3 years. Sinister Portents goes, as someone who purchased a Series S specifically because Microsoft promised parity with the Series X, I'd actually be okay with the company dropping that requirement for third-party developers. I'd still keep it in place for first-party Xbox releases, and perhaps for games launching through Game Pass as well. Zelwyn goes, saw the tag for No Rest for the Wicked, immediately thought of the Cage of the Elephant song, then realized it was actually a title video game and that this article wasn't about the song at all. Okay, thanks to the, welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, so, I don't know, honestly, I didn't know there was, now, listen, when it comes to console specs, it's hard for me to understand, and I'm also saying this not knowing the console specs for either Series X or Series S. I thought Series S was exactly the same, just without a disk drive. That's why the Series S was cheaper. Now, I could be wrong. I probably am, because apparently the Series S also doesn't have as much memory as the Series X does. With that being said, yeah, I think I don't know how you go back on this, because they promised, and if you buy the cheaper console, you'll get all the games that this more expensive console gets, and now developers are having a hard time making that a reality. And it's mostly third party. It's not first party developers. Well, it's not Xbox developers studios struggling themselves. These are third party developers. But I don't know what can be done. They might have to just say, yeah, this game is not coming out on Series S, or I mean, because even if you release like a stripped down version of not including everything, because that's the only way to what's the word I'm looking for? That's the only way to get it to run at all. That's still going back on what you promised. So what I'm gonna do, No Rest for the Wicked trailer. I'm gonna pull it up, and we're gonna take a look, because I haven't seen the trailer. So,
with many eyes you see my future. With many hands you protect my journey. With many eyes you see my future. With many hands you protect my journey. With many eyes you...
You're fighting for a dead man. Ellsworth can't protect Sacrament. He can't protect anyone. A lost daughter returns home. Faith and flame at her neck.
for fairy tales.
It's too late for any of us.
That was pretty awesome. I have to admit. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the consoles that I'll be able to try that out on. Referencing back to the first conversation, the first article of tonight. But yeah, that trailer looked pretty awesome. I have to admit. So if you it did say October, so that's just 4 months away. And yeah, if you have, I just hope that if you do have a Series S or Switch 2, if that's how you were planning to play this game, hopefully you get it without too many compromises, if any at all. Um, yeah. So that was the trailer.